Austin, what up, dude?
What's going on, man?
Here you are. How's it
Look at
going?
that shirt.
Yeah, man, I had to wear a special shirt for today, right?
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. My girl got me this for Christmas. Wow, it's gonna be hard to see, but it says shred sober. It's like
Shred sober, dude.
yeah, dude.
Well, hell yeah. I'm here with Austin Diamond. Did I say that correctly, brother?
That's correct. Sorry that my little icon name says what, Travis Rich, probably.
Yeah, who's that?
That's my girl's little man.
Oh,
I'm on
okay.
his Zoom, but her phone's better
Ah,
than mine. Like I have an 8, and the input jack doesn't even work. It's like all shot out. So I can use nothing but wireless chargers. I'm living in the past. But
well, if Travis is around, man. Little Travis Rich, come aboard on I Ask No One.
oh, he isn't. He's at school.
Okay. All
We're
right.
in a part of the city where they actually are letting real school go on right now.
Nice. Well, that's great. It's definitely not the case so much here in Buffalo, New York. Or you're in Orange County, right?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, you're in Buffalo. I didn't realize that. That's my team. It's been my team forever. The Bills.
Get out of here, really?
Yeah, absolutely, man. We had a close one this year, didn't we? Finally, something to watch.
Yeah, we have a member of the BillsMafia apparently in Orange County. That's awesome, man. We actually the weekend of the AFC Championship, we had Bron Daler of Mastodon, my buddy. He's from Rochester. He's a Bills fan too. So
I not know that. That's sick.
yeah, Bron and Bill from Mastodon. They're from Rochester, so they're
Oh, okay.
they're Bills fans. So maybe next year, this season, we're gonna get to the Super Bowl. I'll have you come back on and we'll talk some Bills.
Let's just live stream the Super Bowl and talk a bunch of Bills Mafia shit. That'd be awesome.
That sounds like fun. Well, I'm here with Austin Diamond of DevilDriver, drummer of DevilDriver and owner, of course, of Shred Sober. Got my mother's
Yeah,
colors here, purple and green. I had to go purple and green. But
that's so rad.
cheers,
How
man.
how
I
what is
usually
that?
I usually sit back on some Jaeger, but
Oh,
I was feeling some organic, protein or something. What do you got
I
there?
have 2 coffees. I had my girl make me a black coffee, and then today's cheat day. I'm like a pretty big health nut these days, and I'm really strict on my diet. I've been doing this macronutrient diet, so it's like basically scientifically calculating to your body type and age and all this craziness. And it's the coolest diet I've ever been on. I get to eat the most, and all I got to do is work out like 5 to 6 times a week. But that sounds crazy, but it's only for an hour, you know what I mean? And then of course I'm drumming and stuff like that. But I drink a lot of coffee now. So, but this is a latte, which I don't get to drink all week, and I do it with heavy cream, and it's delicious.
Well,
So,
here's to your one
cheers,
latte for the week, and this year is 4 years sober for you. Congratulations, brother.
dude. Thank you, and that's awesome that you know that. That's really cool.
Did a little homework,
Yeah.
That's
Thanks,
exciting.
man.
What really what caused you to make the switch? Was there an incident or incidents or things leading up to that you thought that then was time for?
Oh yeah, yeah. The whole history of incidents. It was kind of like a sad double life kind of thing, like where I mean, you grow up in this industry and certain things are acceptable, and it's a rock star life and stuff like that, and other things are not so much acceptable. Like you can go on the road and smoke and drink and all that, but doing anything harder than that, it's going to be like an issue, and everybody's going to, it's going to be crazy. So my issue was keeping normal on the road, drinking and smoking, and I'd come home and do other party drugs and stuff like that, and go missing, and that was for years, and I was lucky enough to find something that worked. I went to a rehab in 2017 on my own time, on our off time, and figured it all out. It was kind of something that was very low key and under wraps, where a lot of none of the bandmates knew of my problem and stuff like that. That was always my worry, is that I was going to get kicked out and stuff like that. I'm sure, I mean, that stuff happens eventually if you don't correct yourself, obviously. We've seen that a million times, but I was able to do it in a way where, fortunately, I was it. I told them, this is what's going on, and they were like, well, we just want the best for you, and want you. We're glad that you're handling your stuff. You know what I mean? So, I did what I had to do. Thanks, man. I did what I had to do, and now I just try to, day at a time, and give this stuff back in any way I know how to. Talking about it and stuff like that, I know that stuff really helps a lot of people. I encourage people that struggle with talking about stuff like that to be more vocal, because as much as we worry about how people will look at us, it's more important that people hear it, because those are the people that probably need to hear it. Quite honestly, it's like when you have that stuff out there and you're not worried about self-preservation in that sense, it's like now you're being transparent. You know what I mean? Now you're ground level with somebody that really needs somebody ground level, that even has done some things like myself. And it's just kind of, I've been blessed in that sense. So now we're here 360, 180, and it's 4 years, and it's great. Well, almost 4 years in July, but it's been crazy.
Yeah, congratulations, bro. And
thanks, man.
Last week it was my birthday. My twin brother's in town from Greece. We're gonna go have a nice dinner with our friends later.
Happy belated birthday, man.
Thanks, brother. And we had someone also living the sober life on last week, Randy Blythe of Lamb of God.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He gave us like 2 hours of his time. And when he got sober, it was on the World Magnetic Tour in 2009. We saw that tour a few times up and down the East Coast. And James Hetfield was really supportive with him and his sobriety. And I'll have to ask you, your bandmate Dez Fafara, who is a bit of a spirit animal for my twin brother and I, yourself included, man. What kind of influence has he had to your sobriety in 2017 and on tour and things like that?
Oh man, I mean, he's been so supportive of that, and just on his own dime, no alcohol and stuff. He I don't remember exactly when, but I think he's been sober in that regard for longer than me, with the alcohol. Yeah, he's all about it. He's, like I said, he was the most, he was the first one that found out about my issue, and I was so nervous, to have him know, or anybody, is just ashamed the feelings that you feel if you're going through something like that. And he was the first one to just be like, dude, like, I had no idea. I'm just glad that you're okay, and that you're doing what it takes to be the best you, because I love you. You know what I mean? And you're a great dude and great, drummer and this and that, and just, we want the best for you. So it was just like a sigh of relief, and just like, wow, he's just been amazing, and yeah, I'm thankful for that. I can't say it any more plain than that. He's just wanted the best for me and for the guys, and that's just the kind of dude he is.
Amen. Dez Fafara is the lead singer of DevilDriver. Of course, Austin Diamond here, drummer of DevilDriver, and Dez was part of the mid to late 90s kind of new metal scene with a band called Cold Chamber. And, what can I say? Awesome shit. God bless you, man. And I like to start off the top of every episode, and I ask no one, with a little fact of the day. So Today is March the 12th. It's the day after the 3/11 day.
Yeah.
Clive Burr. Does that drummer name ring a bell? Clive Burr of Iron Maiden?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He passed away today in 2016 from complications with MS. And Clive Burr, at age 56 in 2016, some people may not know this, but Lars Ulrich of Metallica, big Metallica fan. Lars's favorite two drummers right here, Clive Burr, Iron Maiden, and Phil Rudd, AC/DC. So Clive Burr, you like Iron Maiden? You like the early shit? Do you know
a little bit? I grew up with a heavy metal father, and that was just one where it was like not his jam. It's just like he liked a lot more evilly sounding stuff, like Slayer and stuff that was way more evil sound, Sabbath, like just the evil undertones, the real metal of metal. And I heard them from him, but the only song he really listened to was 2 Minutes to Midnight. That was it.
Yeah.
And I liked that song, but I just, and then I saw who they were later and like really understood why. And people like just listening to it, it didn't captivate me for whatever reason, but then seeing the theatrical side, I was like, oh, I fully get this. This makes sense. Like the whole live, the whole look, all of it. Just I get that. But technically I just, that it just never hit with me. It was a little too progressive and stuff like that. I don't like too much themed music like that. I like it to be to the point and in your face and like, oh, I get this immediately. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to search for it, as much as I appreciate all of it, especially as I've gotten older. I was way more stubborn when I was a kid. I just, I would give anything a chance that like took me on an 8-minute journey, like Floyd or any of that. I love Floyd now. I appreciate Tool. I don't sit around and listen to it. You know what I mean? But it's just a little too journey-ish for me. It's like, oh, you lost me like 5 minutes ago on this 12-minute song. You know what I mean? It's like,
hey, dude, I hear
I'm
you.
still very ADD as a drummer. It's very, but I appreciate it. Dude, Danny Carey is the guy. Like he rules. I'd love to hear him just do a whole album of him drumming with sound effects in the back or something like.
Oh, imagine that.
That would rule. But
that'd be sick. I'm a Black Album guy. I'm a 3 to 4 minute punch you, get you, and we're gonna get to Pantera.
Yes, sir.
I know Pantera's coming up here.
Woo! Oh yeah.
But, yeah, Ben Kinney, bassist of Incubus, he turns 44 today. And just talking to you right now, man, I used to live in San Diego for 2 years.
Okay.
Geico Insurance brought me out there from Buffalo to San Diego. And then I went up to LA, lived in Culver City for 2 years. And just talking to you now, man, you're Southern California as fuck.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Full blown.
Right. And, the bands that best remind me of California, Incubus, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Sublime. Any of those stand out to you more than the other? You like them all, of course, I'm sure, right?
I love them all. And I've definitely spent years of my life listening to all three for sure. But I would say actually out of the three, I probably listen to Sublime the most. Like it's the most feel good for me because it was such a time in my life when especially like 40 Ounces of Freedom came out that like just shocked the world in my area at the time. It was just like, you heard it everywhere. That's all that was being played on repeat. That record just went and went and went. And then of course, like, the self-titled came out with What I Got. And that was equally as awesome. You know what I mean? And it's weird when you talk to certain age groups, like my brother that's 6 years younger than me, that's his record, to where like 40 Ounces is definitely mine. Like, but that's what he knew at the time. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I mean, we just from all the kids that I was in band, we were playing that on the bus on the way to competitions. Just everywhere I went, it was just somebody had it, and we were always just singing it to the top of our lungs everywhere we went, and it's just got that vibe. It's such a cool. I love bands like that though as well, like 311. It's definitely, I've seen them more than I've seen anyone, and I think it's because they're so eclectic. Like they're able to put 5 styles in one song, and just seamlessly do it, and it makes awesome sense. And sometimes it doesn't, and they just do it anyways. But they do it so good, and they're so good at their instruments that it doesn't even matter that they went there, because it ruled. Like, and they just kind of knew it,
Yeah.
And, metal does that a lot too. Like some of my favorite metal records, parts come out of nowhere that don't make any sense to the song, but it's just like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? Like rewind that, like holy shit, what was that? Why was that? And
any of those kind of moments stick out to you right now that just come out of left field, and then it's like, wow, let's rewind that a bit?
I mean, I feel like too, Gojira is like definitely my favorite. Like they're like my new Pantera. That is the new Pantera to me. In metal. If it wasn't for them, there would be no biggest metal band right now that's like still fucking just killing it. You know what I mean? Like bringing some new, but like still discovering themselves in a way. Like they've been so smart and so old school about the way they do things. And I think, you know, whether kids or people know it or not, that is why they're that big, is because they understand the essence of getting in a room and creating the fucking product in the room and not one guy on a fucking computer. Like I'm stoked that we can do that. That's the we can cut just a million songs like that, you know. But are they going to stand the test of time, or are they just going to be a bunch of shit? And Gojira has a way of just putting shit together smartly and doing the shit I'm talking about, like going into a part that just comes out of nowhere, but like it's still like you remember it in that way, you know what I mean? But you could tell they did that on accident on a when they were jamming a part and somebody just got excited, you know, and they're like, oh fuck, let's just go into this, like, you know. I mean, all their songs do it. They'll be just totally at one time signature, and then out of nowhere, it's just something like, like it's like, what? You know, it's this fucking epic. And part of that shit's probably like we're brothers, so we're just like connected like that. And that's some of the greatest bands of all time. And we're talking about it: Pantera, Lamb of God, fucking all of them. You know?
Yeah, dude, you're giving me
Van Halen.
You're getting my heartbeat going with Gojira, man, because those guys, my twin brother and I, we're the twins up front, you know. I've seen them in Australia to Vancouver to fucking Toronto and Florida, and you know, those guys, their tour manager, Taylor Bingley, he's a diehard Bills fan. In fact, he was on that episode, and he manages Mastodon as well. So BillsMafia all over the place, including the Gojira camp. That's really awesome that you like the band, man, of course.
Yeah.
Quote of the day. I like to have a quote of the day, and this is coming from you. And this came in a Static video after you finished the Static X tour. You said, keep your head in the clouds and feet on the ground, no egos. And I like that a lot.
Wow.
I connect with that very much so. How was that Static X tour compared to the other tours that you've been on? I know there were a bunch of dates selling out all over the world. So how was that, man?
That was since I've been in DevilDriver, really ever since day one of Bleed This, like my first band, Bleed the Sky, like I never imagined that I'd be in this position, or even in a position to be like interviewing with you from Buffalo, like randomly in my lifetime, like because I started music as a fan and just kind of, it just took off. And it was like a light bulb moment happened where I realized it was a gift that, you know, I naturally can do this a little better and a little more efficiently than this guy over here, just like for no good reason. And I just didn't ever look back from that. Nothing else really hit. Like sports, I love baseball and stuff like that, but I was like, I mean, a lot of us can fucking throw the ball around, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know, that just happened and took off from there. So sorry, I got off track here.
No,
going back to, you know, what the culmination from, you know, my first band getting signed when I was 20, you know, and then getting in Chimera, meeting Rob and getting to get into Chimera, and then eventually now I'm in DevilDriver, and then doing a tour with Static X. I mean, since DevilDriver, really, there's been a lot of things even beyond surpassing anything I would think I would come close to doing, like that tour. Like that tour was bittersweet as fuck, of course, because, you know, Wayne's passing, and now here we are doing it with like you know, this guy up there, like, you know,
Zero.
Yeah, Zero, exactly. So and I thought they did such a good interpretation, and you know, I'm sure he was up there looking down like, fucking wow, you know, even from the grave, just like, you know, my legend lives on kind of thing. And it was just a cool thing to give the fans. And like, I think, you know, that's what any great would kind of want, stuff like that. At bare minimum, people to cover your shit at like a, you know, somewhere, you know, something. But that was like ultimate, you know what I mean? To get the old lineup, and just, I mean, it was epic. It really was epic. And a cool, great thing to be a part of. And, you know, packed houses every night, people just celebrating Wayne's life with, you know, I mean, it was a special thing to be a part of. But I mean, that's just one amongst so many rad things I've done in DevilDriver so far. As far as what I call the fuck it list, it's not even a bucket list. It's the fuck it list is something to me that like that's just not gonna happen. It can't be on the bucket list because it's not feasible. So there's been a lot of like just mind blowing things that I'm like, how is this happening? If I swear, if I get to play with Metallica somehow, then like I've played with everybody. I mean, I can't play with Pantera. You know, I mean, now it really can't. There was all those talks of like, oh, maybe Zach will step in and Vinny and Rex and Phil. Now you just kind of can't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, whether or not they'll try, I just don't see it. If Phil and the Illegals doing the Farewell Slayer tour thing and doing their rendition of Far Beyond, I believe it was, that's as close as it's gonna get, you know. But that's by far not Pantera. You can't have two brothers gone and call it that, you know. So
right.
Let alone the one. I mean,
Dude.
You know, but that was my favorite metal band of all time, by the way. That's just heartbreaking. I never even got to fucking see them ever. Which is such a fucking bummer. Yeah.
What's up with that? You just said no back then?
My mom was like very protective and didn't want me, like, for good reasons, obviously, because I fell into some heavy shit later. It's like she knew, like, oh, the sooner I let you in that, you're just gonna fall into it even sooner than you probably will anyways.
Shit, man. So I was 15, you know, 03, seeing the Summer Sanitarium tour with Metallica, Deftones, Mudvayne, Linkin Park.
You were 3?
I was 15 in 2003. But that was my first rock concert at age 15. Before then, you know, Metallica would come through with Guns when I was like 3 or 4, you know, there. But what was your first concert or your first rock concert?
That I don't remember, but I have like vague flashes. Like I do remember certain like the 3 things, but it was actually my parents when I was 3 or 4 took me to the Coliseum in LA to see Ted Nugent. And all I remember is we were right next to this area where security like rushed him down the center aisle, and we were right there somehow next to it. There's just fucking flashes everywhere, but you could see them escorting him in, and he had this fucking like weird, he's a hunter and shit like that. He had this weird like raccoon tail thing hanging from his ass. I remember that. And then I just remember it being loud as fuck. And then my mom was like, yeah, and he just like 20 minutes in, she was like, he fell asleep. And that's funny to me that I would fall asleep during a fucking rock concert like that. But,
man, oh man. Nugent, that
music to my ears, I guess.
What was that?
Huh? I said music to my ears, I guess. Just put me to sleep, you know?
Nugent, I just saw him a few years ago. The amount of Second Amendment shirts I saw in that venue was it's quite hilarious. But
I bet.
Jason Newsted, his first ever concert was Ted Nugent back in like 77, 78. So there you go. Boom.
Crazy facts.
Yeah, nice. Well, what first made you want to get on the drums, dude? Because I'll tell you right now, I could probably guess who it is. And I have a drum kit back here. I think I was 25 when I first got on the drums. And when you're imitating Gojira there, Mario, you started high crash because that's just, you know, that's what he's always riding, that high crash. And when I first saw you, brother, it was Hatebreed Concrete Confessional Tour 2016, Echo Park, LA.
Oh, wow.
And that show, I didn't have a ticket for. And sometimes I'll just maybe I look like I'm in a band. I just walk right in. And I walked right in there and I meet and greet with the band, just chilling. It was like I work for Roadrunner Records, you know? And it was before your set. You walked right by me and you had your shorts on, and we exchanged just a hey, what's up? And I remember the way you said hello to me was so fucking cool. And I didn't forget that. And, you know, over these years, and I started this podcast out of the quarantine, get to connect with my heroes and spirit animals, and yourself being one of them. So when I played drums, the one thing I remember you doing on the drum kit was you do this thing where it's like you know, you do the hair, your hair's all over, and you do this kind of windmill thing, you know, in the music videos and everything. And I was just front row, and I smelled alcohol on Dez's breath at that time. I think that's before he got sober.
Yeah, both of us
Stench
probably.
coming from him that was just like, you know, some like Spencer's in some dive bar or something. I don't know. You know, but dude.
We had some years before the sobriety that we were just
Yeah. That was a great concert, man. And then of course I saw you in London, Ontario on the Static tour. And that was signed by the band on that tour. My brother and I, we hung out with Static and Zero.
So sick.
Guys. Yeah. I'm gonna grab that real quick.
That's rad.
Yeah, this is in the background of all my episodes here.
Oh man, that's too sick.
Yeah, man.
Too sick. Wow.
Yeah, really
that's bitching. It's really cool.
And yeah, I mean, like, was it Vinnie Paul that got you into getting on the drums?
No, you know, like I said, like I was literally just telling this story about inspiration in music, and kind of like went back down the rabbit hole of it all with a friend of mine last night. And I was talking about just kind of how I touched on it earlier with you, but like, you know, I started music, you know, as a fan first, big fan, and just no inclination that I would get on and do it myself. You know what I mean? I loved it that much, but never was like, man, I just need to get a kit. And, you know, really what sparked it all was my stepdad. He was in a like kind of a garage band that would, you know, play bars, backyard parties and stuff. And when I got a little bit more of age, I was always around when they were rehearsing at the house. And one day they were taking a break, and my mom was there, and they were like, hey, just get on the drums, fuck it, you know, they were taking a break. I'm like, okay. I probably was like really reserved about it, but started messing around, and I guess instantly my mom was just like, you're carrying a rhythm immediately, like nobody's even showing you anything, and you're just doing it, and it's like a rhythm, you know. And that kind of was like her light bulb moment. So then my aunt, that Christmas, I was 9, she got me a kit, and then even then for years it was just kind of something I would just hop on. You know, I had lessons for around a month, maybe a few months, and just to kind of lock in a groove, like a steady groove. But I didn't really learn too much from my teacher. It was just, you know, and it tapered off. I wasn't uninterested in it, or we couldn't afford it or something like that. But so it was just kind of something I would hop on when I was really bored. And still I was just way more into listening and finding new bands and all this stuff. And certainly you know, listening to Metallica and Slayer and Pantera and stuff like that really, you know, had me air drumming and stuff like that. But I didn't really go and play it, you know what I mean? It wasn't until like my junior year of high school, really. I mean, I would play here and there still. Like, I finally met a friend that jammed guitar, and we would play like cover like Nirvana stuff and stuff like that. But then it's really kind of when the first Slipknot came out, and it was like perfect parallels that I was in marching band, learning all these rudiments and learning things that were applicable to the sound of that Furiosity. It was like multiple drum shit going on. What the fuck is this? This is sick. This guy's playing this style that reminds me of rudiments, and that's also very in your fucking face, fast and just aggressive, and like I've never heard anything like this. And that really hyped me up to get the kit out. It was kind of in the rafters for a while, and I'd been, like I said, in marching band, so I got it out, and I immediately realized how much fucking better I was at the kit, like without even having played in so long, just because of marching band. Like shit I was taught in there. It was just like, whoa, like now I'm excited to like, what else? I need to get double bass. Like, so I got that, and it just kind of like fell into place immediate, because I was playing my right foot pedal as fast as I could possibly, like just one foot, you know, just fast as I could. And then when the second foot came into play, and I could just go, and as soon as that hit, I was just like, this is it. I'm hooked, you know. And that was just kind of it. And then so all those inspirations leading up to that point, and then that kind of that record kind of really tricked me into success of like getting the kid out and getting into like, hey, I want to get into a band now. I think I'm good enough to try to like create some shit with some people. And that's when I did it in my senior year, got in my first band and had several light bulb moments in that band where it was just like, yeah, I'm excelling. These guys are kind of not, but it's a lot of fun. And then that led me to the guitar. You know, a lot of people still don't really recognize that I play guitar because it's like not something I push on anybody, but like more recently I have, because I think it's kind of a cool thing. And it's another inspiration if people take it that way. Like, fuck, why not try to play multiple things? Like Berkland as well. Fuck, what a fucking great musician. Dude slays guitar and drums and just writes all kinds of different, cool, great shit. Obviously, you know. So yeah. But yeah, I got riffs on every project I've ever been on, and some of the projects a lot of riffs, you know what I mean? But yeah, so you know, but yeah, it's been a crazy journey that I never even imagined and never strived to be until it was evident that that's what I should strive for. You know, it wasn't something that just I dreamed of since a kid. It just kind of fell in my lap, and then I recognized it and I latched on to it. You know, I feel like everybody has that in their life too. It's whether or not it's placed in front of you to see, where it's like, okay, I can't turn my back on this. Like, I firmly believe everybody has a place or something that they excel at more than the other, whatever that is to you, whether you want to look at it or whatever. That's your goal, is to look at the things that come the easiest to you, and somewhere in that is what you're supposed to do with your life. You know what I mean? That will make you the most happy, whether you get the money or not. Your happiness will be afforded through that, whatever that is. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll, you know what I mean? I'll never turn my back on that. I'm playing heavy metal. I'm not a billionaire. You know what I mean? There's very, very few heavy metal millionaires. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you do because you love it. This is that genre of shit. We're on the front line. We don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
That's right. Well, hey, thanks for sharing, man. Yeah, whatever comes natural or organic. Amen to that. When I first started drumming, they told me, hey, start reading music, and my teacher happened to be in a marching band himself, so I'm learning my bzzz, you know, that kind of thing. And when Mario Duplantier of Gojira uploads a right, left, right, left, and he's just going all nuts, just all of a sudden you get those patterns down, and then I don't know, it just, when I got those patterns down, I agree, I felt like I could navigate right, left, down here easier.
Absolutely.
Pantera though, Vinnie Paul, how has he influenced your drumming the most? Was it, I mean, live when you perform, man, I love what you do, dude. I mean, yeah, it's the showmanship. You don't just sit there and you go, you know, you hit it and stuff.
Okay, so that's what Pantera did for me. Like, there has been a lot of different influences that get me in different ways, and for one, it's like what they literally did for me was the difference between Pantera and Metallica. You know what I mean? Because Slayer for me has always been a riff picker band. It's not full songs that captivate me for whatever reason. I just don't love. I don't love thrash beats all day in my face. It's just like, when's the fucking groove coming? Like, like that's what I'm waiting for. And I feel like Pantera delivers that all day. And when they do pick thrash moments, it's so fucking great. And it's just, I don't know if it's the quality is just better. They're playing it better. It's probably all of it. And then Phil is just like so certain that he's just the most fucking spastic, crazy. You know, they're watching their videos literally is what made me actually want to do this, because I was like, these guys are so fucking stupid. Like, they're the dumbest fucking people I've ever seen, but they're shredders. They just, when they get on the stage, it's undeniable. They will eat you. They will eat whoever the fuck is there. You do not want to play before them, because you will be forgotten. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then that's just what I saw. I was like, and no disrespect, whatever. I love Metallica, but for me, it was when Pantera came out, it was like, who cares about Metallica? Honestly, that's how I felt. I was just like, these dudes, it's just, there's no comparison. This is just way tougher. It's me. I just tend to love meaner shit like that anyways, but they had the groove, you know. The first song I ever heard was This Love on the radio. I remember exactly where I heard it and everything, like it was fucking 9/11. You know what I mean? That's how impactful it was on me. It's just, you know, hearing the beginning, I was like, oh, this is fucking captivating. You know what I mean? And then they hit the chorus. I'm like, oh fuck, this is really sick. And the tones of this is sick. And the drums are in your face. And but then when the fucking bridge hits and Dime hits that, I'm like, what the fuck? And that was just like fucking crushed my world. And then obviously we bought the record, and then you hear Mouthful of War and everything from the beginning. You're like, I didn't even hear Cowboys from Hell first. That's not the first record I heard. Like,
Really?
Yeah, I must have been 9 years old when I first heard Pantera, you know?
Yeah. Taylor Bingley, tour manager Gojira, he's described reinventing the steel as arrogant. And you were just describing some adjectives to describe Pantera, and arrogance is a word I've never heard used to describe music, but I would agree. The aggro of Pantera, really bringing it to you like that. And those videos, I'm totally with you there, man. But with drumming lessons too, like you do drumming lessons on tour, which is a really cool gesture of you to do for us fans want to, you know, learn a little bit. You do these clinics, right?
Yeah, it's a cool thing. It's a cool opportunity. I believe it's a cool experience, like, you know, because you never know as a you know, kid or whoever wants to get the lesson, because generally I do this with, you know, respect to the guys, and just kind of let them know, hey, as long as you guys are cool with this, I'd like to use the, you know, the back room for a lesson. And generally, you know, they're super cool. Dez pretty much stays in his in the back of the bus. You know, that's where he likes to stay. It's his little, you know, zen den, if you will. And you know, and as of late, he's been able to bring his wife, so she's just pretty much been at home, but on the road he's been just loving it, and kind of lets us rock the green room. So the guys are, I mean, we get along so well. It's just a great dynamic in our band. It's just fucking awesome. But yeah, they're always cool. I'm like, yo, it's at this time, it's just for like an hour. And sometimes they'll be there in there anyways, just kind of jamming on guitar acoustically or whatever. So as a fan too, I mean, I'm sure that's kind of cool. Like, you never know if you're just gonna walk in and Mike's just playing, or Neil's there, or Ash just walks in randomly, or just whatever. And you know, dudes get stoked about the, you know, that little kind of thing. And just the whole thing is cool, I think, too, because I like to consider myself pretty personable and very ground level, and that's just always been my deal, because I'm a kid from the garage. That's what I call myself, because I never expected to come this far. And you know, I'm just grateful for any of it. But to be able to like help enhance, give tips, and see where drummers are at, or where they're trying to go, or if it's just for fun or whatever, you know, I tell them, I just kind of see where that's at, and then, you know, leave them with a few things, and let them, you know, tape a video of what we learned. Not just like, hey, remember this. Like, no, tape me doing it, take it with you. You have that as well forever. Pictures, you know, and just, you know, a piece of me, you know, whatever you want to know. I'm an open book, man. And that's a good feeling, you know, to have that kind of transparency, to, you know, because a lot of us, we want to, you know, hide a lot of shit, you know, and that's normal. It's not normal, you know. But I'm just to a point in my life where I realize the good in just being open. And you know, it's an inspiring look, you know what I mean? I believe, and whenever I see it, I'm just like, it gets me there, because it's just like, cool, man. Like, your ego has either subsided or is choosing to be non-existent, and just very selfless, you know. That's a good look. And you know, as you age, you just learn more things like this are more important than anything else. It's about helping people however you can do that, you know. So we have our own inner struggles, and we're enough for ourselves. So it's just like, I'm gonna need to talk to you or somebody one day as well, you know. Not every day is gonna be fucking, you know, rainbows and butterflies and shit, you know.
Yes. Thanks, man. I'm in real estate, so it's nice to plug into rock and roll time for, you know, 45 to an hour a week and connect, just to get away from that a little bit. Real estate's been great to me. It's been a new career. depression things happening in 2016, and I'm definitely out of the woods in that respect. I've got a great girlfriend.
Good
So
for you, brother.
thanks, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, just finding daily the light, and really it's become easier when you build up these habits, and remaining open is totally just to, fuck egos. I'm in the gym sometimes, and I get in the moment where who gives a fuck, or in social. So it's
Yeah.
I appreciate your message there very much, from experience as well. And Shred Bro. So this is your brand that you
Well,
brand,
so
right?
you have the one that's like really funny to me. So I don't know if you
Is this
understand
a
what's happening.
tiger? Is this a panther or something?
Okay, so there's a whole thing that's going on here that's just like too many things in one, which is generally me in a nutshell. Too many things going on. Okay, so the SS part is the Shred Sober. That's obviously on the Shred Sober. But you got this really special one that I just thought was funny. So it's a knockoff of Death Row Records,
Oh,
and that logo is
yeah,
exactly like that.
yeah. You look
But the
familiar.
guy's like this actually. He's like in an electric chair.
Oh, like Ride the
You know,
Lightning style. Cool.
yeah, that's the Death Row label pretty
Oh,
much, but I
yeah.
put Shred Bro like Death Row. But the dude's on a drum set. It's my homeboy Anthony Avia. He makes these designs, and we kind of spitball, and he gets me, and he created that. I was like, dude, that's fucking hilarious. How's the quality of that shirt, by the way? Because I've been wondering, is this company like putting out quality? Like, is it pretty good?
Yeah, it's good, man. It's thin, and
How's the print? How's the print? Is it good, or like what's the
dude,
vibe?
it's good. It's not sticker slap like a lot of these shirts are. It's stretchy, it's thin, it's really
Dude,
comfortable, dude. You can wear it
I was
out
that
or as PJs. So
I'm so stoked because I was thinking possibly to go somewhere else, but I need to buy some of my own shit apparently because there's so many options on there and colors, and I was like, God, is this
dude,
really that good? But everybody I've that has bought in some things are like, dude, I love this, and it is great. I'm like, God, that's so crazy, and I
yeah,
don't, and it's all print on demand. It's not. I don't pay them for stock or any of that shit. It's like whatever you see on there and you pick, it goes into them and they send it to you. It's not like they're out on like space in a warehouse or something, which I think is just such a great concept. And I don't know how it's not huger. I know it's huge, but it's not. It should be taking over everything because who wants to spend all that? Who wants to take up all that locker space or that warehouse space of one design? Once if it flops, and then now you own it. Like, and that's why I love this because it's like you can have one-offs like that are just kind of avant-garde in the spectrum. I love it, and actually, quite a few people have been purchasing that one. I haven't seen it in that color scheme.
yeah. My mother's colors. She has a company, Zen Joy. She's an artist. She
Cool.
creates wreaths and so on, and yeah, purple and green's her thing, man. But yeah, don't go anywhere with the design, dude, because this is stretch, bro, dude. It's comfortable, man. It's
I love it.
dig
I
it.
love
But
it.
coming back to touring, man, do you have a craziest tour memory at
I
all?
always get this question.
Yeah.
For me, it's like there's too many. There's too many craziest. But like I mean, you're.
Maybe a time you played at the Whiskey, or the first time on the Sunset Strip, or maybe your
I
biggest
mean,
show you ever played.
Wacken was
Oh,
just like
Wacken, dude.
was this tour that I only dreamed about, and then we did it with DevilDriver. It's got a full like fucking 4K video on YouTube if you want to go look at it later. But it's just like fucking crazy. Like it's just like you can't even see the last person, and the people just stretch so far. I don't know if it was it's something crazy like upwards to 60,000. Like
Yeah.
it's just like after like 5,000, you're like, I can't see that far.
What's going through your mind when you're back there and you see your boys up in front of you, and then be in front of them? This is daytime, I'm assuming. Were you able to see all the fan? Like what's going through how are your wrists doing? It's just all adrenaline, I'm sure.
Oh, dude, it's like everything. I swear on those kind of stages, like the music's never felt slower and never felt easier. you know, like the nerves is as soon as it's like 5 seconds in and everything sounds good, nothing's fucking up, and you feel your kit feels good and all that. That's always the big first thing when you play these fests, is because you get there and there's always these weird difficulties. This kit you've never played on, now you got to set it up and kind of tap on it, make sure it's like all the heights and everything is like feels like your kit that like sets the same way every day, and now you're trying to create that out of, you know, an hour's worth of time, and then just get up and do it. And as long as that is legit, everything else is like seriously feels so much slower. Like all of a sudden you could just play death metal like like it's like nothing, you know. It's just like, what the fuck. Yeah, that adrenaline is definitely prevalent, you know.
Awesome, man. There's one moment that I was looking, you know, performance, and by the way, that 4K performance, I'll the Vac from Wacken, I'll include in the description below. Again, we're here with Austin Diamond, drummer of DevilDriver here and owner of Shred Sober, excuse me, Shred
Yes,
Bro Records. Oh. And
Thanks.
yeah, dude. And if you're finding any value in this, hit a like, subscribe, all that shit's good. But dude, you played Ozzfest at the Forum 2018.
Yeah.
2018 became 2019, but you had a New Year's Eve show. I always wondered how bands like New Year's Eve shows, it's got to be pretty fun. But you played with Ozzy, Rob Zombie, Korn, no, Jonathan Davis, Marilyn Manson at that Forum. How was that night, man?
That night it was an awesome night. As far as just getting to experience that, like also I didn't want to take away from that, but the first one that I played was even cooler because they were talking about before I even got the chance, it had already been done for a while. So the first one I played was in 2016, I believe, was the last one before that one happened, the one you were talking about. And it was supposed to be done after that. Like we did Ozzfest, and then we did like Knotfest.
Dude, was that San Bernardino?
Yeah.
That was 2016 September?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, fuck, dude, I forgot I saw you there. See, I was just like,
yeah. Oh no, it's all good, dude.
Awesome.
It's all good. That one was a crazy, because I had just joined the band, and it was like one of the first things one of the first things we didn't know. I guess I'd only been in it for 2 years. Yeah. But it was like, I never thought I would do Ozzfest, you know, and it just came back out of nowhere and we got on it. It was fucking epic, you know what I mean? And
it was 2 days.
I don't know, it was just super special. And doing it there, especially because it was just, I'd seen so many Ozzfests already there in San Bernardino. So it was like just another hometown moment. I'm playing Ozzfest in San Bernardino. Like, this is fucking crazy, you know? But yeah, the one New Year's Eve obviously was special because it's New Year's Eve. But we played outside. Actually, there was a whole outside area. We played outside the Forum, and Wednesday 13 played out front as well, and a few others. Forget who else was there.
Yeah,
I forget. But Manson was actually more on his game that night. Like, I'd already seen him at Knotfest. He fell off the stage. He was so coked out. The other 2 times that I've seen him, things like that would happen. But that show, he was actually seemingly together, and the theatrics and everything were super sick. Like, it actually like got me really back into him, where he did his thing and just, you know, had a lot of offensive God moments and just shit like that. But like, that's who he is, you know. It's just the shock value. But he did great. Rob's just knowing that I could say I shared a show with Manson and Zombie and fucking and Ozzy. That's just a crazy thing to be able to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I bet. I mean, dude, if you were to share the stage with Metallica for one night or one song, what song, I'm curious, would you perform with Metallica? You like early shit, I'm sure.
I really love the early shit.
Right,
I don't know. I think it's weird, but I think I would play like Orion or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's the instrumental. Like, sure. I loved that. I bumped to that song so much. Yeah. Yeah. Just there's so many cool changes in that song. And
Yeah. Good answer, man. Good answer.
yeah.
Just a few more questions here, dude. A few last questions. How have you been doing in the pandemic, brother? I mean, you look great.
Thank you.
Missing tour life, I'm sure. Any live streams coming up?
Weird.
What's the plan in the Death Driver camp?
So whoa, so random. So we were talking about all this. Yeah, it's been crazy. Dez just literally group texted us. I miss my band and my brothers and ready to tour. He just literally right
Get out
now
here.
as we speak. Yeah, it's just random. So
Oh, what's up, Dez?
he's hearing you, brother. Yeah. So it's been weird, man. It's just, I mean, I'm sure it's been even weirder for dudes like Dez, like, because he's been doing this even way longer than me, you know. So it's just like when that's like your life since you're 30, you know. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's been interesting, you know.
With travel.
I've been working for Amazon, like so just keeping busy.
Yeah.
I haven't been that prevalent on the internet, I could firmly say, and just I was seeing too much, sad stuff and negative stuff and this and that, and I'm not here for that. I'm glad we're all different so that everybody can fight their different battles that are necessary for America to be America and stuff. But I know where my place is, and it's to just spread the love, spread the music, and like just exist in that way. I don't like to get political and all this stuff. And I'd be the worst politician because I'm just too jokey. People would constantly be offended by me because it's just they'd be, oh, that's not funny.
Yeah.
You're too sarcastic. Stuff like that. But yeah, it's just I'm just trying to keep my head down and get to the next chapter. There were moments where, like, before I got back into like my heavy, like I said, workout routine and all of that, there were my pandemic months where I was like, this isn't gonna end, like, and I just started like eating like shit, like put on some weight, and I'm like, fuck, and I knew it would get to me eventually because I'd always had like a thing in my head. When I grew up, I was like, I got my biggest, I was like 245, wearing like a size 42 pants, and like a big dude I'm not that tall, like, and this was when I was younger, so I wasn't even full height. So I won't let myself get past like 200 anymore, like, so I was getting up there though. I was like 195. I was like, what the fuck? Like, it freaked me out, and it's like, all right, I gotta get off my ass, stop like thinking work's enough, and I can just come and sit on my ass for the rest of the 5 or 6 hours after I get home before bed and just eat like shit and sit there, and it's not enough. You need to drum and stuff like that. And I've had my moments of not drumming, which has been like a bummer, where I just don't drum, and the inspiration part has been hard. But I'm back on top right now, and I'm ready to just get reinvented. I just took like a leave, not a permanent leave, but like I'm working half the amount of time now so that I can dedicate back to the craft, and just get back into that. And I got a regiment that I've got planned now. It gives me a consistent amount of days in a row to like do my drumming stuff. And
where else do you work besides the drumming thing and shred?
It's for Amazon. I deliver. I deliver. I drive like the bigger DOT truck, and yeah, it is what it is, and just get it done. And it's a job. I gotta get the money's got to come in. You know what I mean?
I feel like Amazon boxes are out front of my door like every few days. Ashlyn, my sweet girlfriend,
they are
busy.
Mm-hmm. It's insane, dude. So yeah, between that and my hours of that have been weird because they're not early. So being a drummer, nobody wants to hear drums past like maybe 8, and I'm at the parentals right now because that's just my best option right now because of what happened with COVID and all this. So luckily they're cool with me doing all that, but yeah, they don't want to hear it past 8, so, but I get home now at around 6:30 or 7, so it's just like, what's, even then it's kind of too late to get started. I like to have hours where I get off at 2:30 and get home and just get right into it, and that's reasonable,
Sure.
but that hasn't been the thing lately, so it's been bumming me out. So that's why I was like, I need to have 3 days off a week, and I need them in a row. And luckily boss has been cool with that, so we're gonna get back into that. And yeah, because I always like to be writing, always stockpiling ideas and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I started twitching actually a little bit at the end of the year last year, and then kind of you know what Twitch is or no?
What's Twitch? No.
Twitch is like this video game, like a gamers platform that a lot of musicians have been using to stream live and just kind of play along to their own music or other covers or whatever, and they're just kind of interacting with their fans and stuff like that. And a lot of these dudes have been making a huge lucrative amount of money, like the singer for singer/guitar player for Trivium, Matt Heafy. That's like, he's like the biggest dude in the music that's doing it. Like that dude makes enough income, I would say, that he doesn't even probably have to be in Trivium. That's how much fucking money he has been able to accrue. It's insane. So that's just like that's the day and age we're in right now, where you can do stuff like that. I do.
Okay, I'm gonna include that the link below as well.
I do. Thanks, man. Yeah, it's F&A style / Twitch. Yeah. Another Pantera fucking.
Yeah, man. You mentioned This Love. It was really funny. A few days ago, I'm on Ozzy's Boneyard, cruising around, showing to showing, and This Love came on, and I was thinking to myself, geez, I wonder. Well, I'm sure Austin loves that song. So that moment a few minutes ago happened with Dez. Then you get talking about This Love, and again, I'll speak on behalf of all fans. We can't wait to see you back out there on the road, brother. And just thanks for your time, dude. I have one more question for you.
Sure.
All right. You like Arnold Schwarzenegger? I think I get that vibe on your Instagram, maybe.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You got a favorite quote? You got a go-to quote or movie that stands out to you from Arnold?
Yeah. Get to the chopper. Yeah. Do it now. Yeah.
Run, go. Yeah, the Predator.
Can't come with me if you want to live, or it's simply cool it. What was that? Batman when he goes cool it or chill. It's just every worst one. Yeah, whatever, baby Bubby Bunkers.
Yeah. There's that soundboard online where you could just hit a button, and we use a prank call and just like, good morning, how are you? Yes,
Yeah.
You ever see Total Recall from 1990?
Of course.
My go-to is no, this is the plan. Get your ass to Mars. Go to the Hilton, flash a Brubeck ID at the desk. That's all there is to it. If you can nail a son of a bitch, you fuck you and me. It's just, dude, that's Total Recall.
So bad. Man.
Love it.
Yeah. I just love his eyeball, like his eyes during that one part where he's like in the chair. He's like, it's just so horrible. I love it.
Yeah, it never ever gets old. Well, man, keep shredding. Thank you so much again, dude.
Dude, thank you, man. Thanks for thinking of me.
Yeah, of course, man. Go Bills. And next week we have Jay Gordon of Orgy coming on. He's going to take the time to chat a little bit. And what can I say? Stay happy, stay healthy, stay hungry, and stay fucking heavy, brother. We'll be in touch, all right?
That's it, brother. Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks a lot, brother. See ya.
All right. See you later.